right, hello everybody. Welcome to Job Search Chess, how tech workers can win more interviews in 2026. My name is Albert. I'm the founder of Albert's List. I'm co-hosting this webinar today. Albert's List is a job search organization or a career organization focused on helping you learn job search, AI, and side hustle skills, sometimes multiple at once, so that you can be the most resilient professional possible in your career today. Lots of things happening, of course, as you know. We are now here in the new year. Um, we're here in a new job market, or maybe it's the old job market, but you're here to learn new skills. And with me, as always, is my friend Nader Mowlaee of Engineer Your Mission. And he is the chess master here who will help you today figure out the strategies that you need to be successful in your job hunt. This presentation is being recorded. We'll also present you with ways to connect with Nader after the fact. And yeah, if you have any questions, use the webinar chat or the Q&A function. So Nader, over to you. Happy New Year. Welcome back.
Thank you so much. Happy New Year to you too. Happy New Year to all of you participants here. I see your names, don't see your faces, but uh, I look forward to connecting with you on LinkedIn. I already see a few of you connected. Send me an invite to connect. So thank you for that. I'll just wait till the presentation is done and definitely connect with you all. And we'll say hi, exchange a few messages, and yeah, get to know each other better. Hopefully, I can contribute to your success, to at least pushing you forward in the right direction in 2026. It's a year of opportunities. We've seen great things this year. It's only been 7 days, and a lot of great events have happened. Locally, nationally, internationally, things are moving, things are changing, good things are happening. So I'm excited, full of energy, and yeah, looking forward to this presentation. This has been definitely my most successful presentation, the most successful masterclass I've ran. I've been lucky enough to know Albert and be part of Albert's List for this is year number six, at least since COVID. I mean, we probably had known each other before COVID, but when COVID happened, we started doing more events and lives and webinars. And this is the fifth or sixth time I'm presenting this exact same masterclass because the results just speak for themselves. We've had people get multiple interviews, we've had people get multiple offers, and the proof is in the presentation today. So that's why I just keep repeating the same thing. It works extremely well. It's my top selling service. Obviously what I'm about to teach you today. I've sold consistently for over a decade. I've stopped selling it for the last week because now it's part of my new school community. So if you're part of the school community, you get access to this presentation and weekly coaching workshops. So if you like, let's go through today. If you like what I'm offering you, if you resonate with me, if you see there's chemistry between us and what I'm teaching, well, one of the offers I'm going to have for you today is to join my school community at no cost to you, lifetime free access. But I do need you to connect, like do it before midnight today, because the holiday special that I ran for my new school community, it started 24 days ago. We have 161 members right now. It was supposed to end, as I was saying earlier, on January 4th, but people are joining every day, are referring others every day. So I just decided to keep it open, keep the deal going until the end of this presentation, until midnight tonight. So every one of you guys can get in before I turn on the membership. So the membership will turn on, will not affect you at all. I'll actually grandfather everybody into the premium level, which would cost, not for you, would cost $97 per month. Gives access to the courses, the community, and obviously live coaching every Sunday at 2 p.m. Pacific. Cool. So with that said, let me share my screen. Okay, should be up in three, two, and one. Okay, there I am on LinkedIn. First and foremost, before we get deep into the presentation today, Albert did share the link to my LinkedIn profile. It's right on top of the chat. So do send me a connection to invite. Go through my profiles, click on connect. If it doesn't say connect, as a button over here, go to more. You're gonna have a button here, gray color button that says more, and then go to connect and just send me an invite. It's nice if you include a note with it, at least to tell me, that you attended the presentation. So I know otherwise, if you want to send it right now, I know I can see the invitations coming in, and I know you were part of the presentation because I have some special offers and a special we'll provide special support to you guys. So that's number one. At the end of the presentation, I'll share the link to my LinkedIn profile again. Now, before I forget, and I'll share this link with you guys right now because this community started 24 days ago. We have 161 members right now. It's active, it's live, it's engaged, it's moving, it's happening. People have already landed interviews over the last 3 weeks because January is the busiest hiring month of the year. So this is the time to be here, and you guys are, and this is the time to take advantage of any type of support services, training, coaching, development, whatever you want to call it, especially if it doesn't cost you anything, right? Especially if it's being provided by someone who's been doing this for the last 15 years. Uh, on top of that, again, you get access to this presentation that I'm doing right now, a more concise, maybe concise, but more detailed, probably more detailed version. This version that I have here is pretty detailed. You have it as a mini course on here that includes slides, instructions, access to the program worksheets. On top of that, access to the weekly events, so weekly job searching masterclass coaching calls. Last one, the first one of the year went up to 2 hours because we have people actively networking and actively interviewing. So I answered many questions and it was an amazing event. Obviously, all the replays are available to you as well. This is a replay of from just 3 days ago. Right. So anyways, long story short, I want to, before I forget, because I want to copy the link to this into chat, copy, paste to everyone. If you don't have a school account, it will ask you to create just a username and password. So do that for later, but at least click on it so you have it open. I see I've already received 2 memberships. Uh, have it open so you can set up your account later on and get free access because by the end of tonight, and I know I'm not gonna wait till midnight tonight, but tomorrow morning I'm gonna activate the tiers. The free plan will be there, but you're only gonna have access to the classroom and the free courses. What you really want to take advantage of right now is without paying $97 a month is to get access to the workshops. So it's every Sunday, 2 p.m. Pacific, goes up from 1 to 2 hours of me being here. Kind of like you're going to get a flavor of what I do for coaching and how I coach today, how I teach, because I've been doing this for 15 years with an engineering background, 10 years of recruiting in tech, and 15 years of coaching going into my 16th year. Over 1,200, I'm getting close to 1,250 clients, and I have over 210 recommendations and testimonials you can see on LinkedIn. So there's a lot of proof out there that I guess stops me from having to sell myself, right? I'll let the testimonials and the success stories and the case studies do the selling for me. And obviously I'm going to do my best to impress you today. But my cherry on top of the cake for you is get in right now before the end of today so you get grandfathered into the premium package. So you can get classroom, get workshops, and if any of you wants one-on-one private personal coaching, there's another tier for you available as well. Cool. So anyways, I'm gonna just move on to here. This is what I went into. This topic of a hidden job market is what I went to. I covered in depth in my last presentation with Albert. I covered in a lot more depth in this video, in this course as part of the classroom inside school. What I didn't want to spend more time on it because I know that most likely, like most definitely, you should and you will take advantage of the free offer to get into this community and you will get access to this video and additional resources here. So I don't want to beat the drum of what the hidden job market is too much. And I want to kind of like, I don't want to waste time on it. It's not wasting time, but I just want to kind of like bring it to your awareness because every day today I had a consultation with someone who the situation wasn't that he didn't know what the hidden job market was, but he chose not to accept it. He started arguing with me. Like it's like I didn't come up with how the market operates. Like why are you upset at me? this is why I don't show you my resources. Just Google it. I just ask AI. You go ask AI what the hidden job market is. You ask it, what the estimates are, like what percent of jobs are filled through the hidden job market. And I don't know what you have to do, meditate, pray, whatever you have to do. You just gotta accept the statistics, how the job market operates. You just gotta know, like, here's your public service announcement. And then if you have to research more, if you have to, jokes aside, meditation aside, whatever you have to do, just like, even if you don't understand it, just agree with it, because just it is what it is, right? Most jobs will never be advertised, whether you and I like it or not. Most jobs will never be publicly advertised. And that includes advertisements on the entire internet, all the way to the ads you see on the back of public buses, to the newspapers, to the whatever classifieds. A certain percentage of jobs get advertised. Now, in a really good job market, when everything's growing, GDP's growing, companies are hiring, money's being invested, everything's good. Yeah, 25%, maybe 30% of jobs get advertised because companies have money for it. They can afford it. But in a bad job market that we're in right now, don't want to be a doomer, but we all know that we're not in a great job market, right? Less than 25% of jobs, my estimate is somewhere between like 15 to 20% of jobs are being publicly advertised. So if you're focusing your strategy, your job search strategy on applying to jobs that have been publicly available online, then you're just looking through this small hole, like kind of like the key the keyhole and through the door. Like you're just seeing a little bit of what's happening in the job market. The 80 to 90%, like that's just hidden. That's what the hidden job market is. And how are those hidden jobs that will not be publicly advertised, how are those filled? They're filled up to 80% of them. Again, here, asking Google's Gemini uh, Pro model, because I have a Pro account, so let's just ask the smartest AI in the world what he or she or it knows about the hidden job market. 70, 80 in a bad job market, even more higher percentage of the 80% are filled through networking referrals. We do networking on the hiring on the job seeking side. We have to network on their side. They look for referrals. How do the employers get referrals? Through people that are networking together. There's people inside the company, there's people outside of the company. People inside of the company and outside the company are networking, communicating, messaging, DMing, shaking hands. They're networking, right? So that's what you're about to learn today, right? So that's why I'm just putting this out there. That's what you're about to learn today. And when someone works with me, this is the only thing we do. We do not apply to a single job on a public job board. Doesn't matter what the website is. On the internet, we don't deal with it. I don't waste time. Everybody gets a little spiel right now that you're getting, and just that's the last time we talk about it. And that's how it's been in the last 15 years. That's probably how it's going to be over the next 15 years. Uh, because of this big gap between the little bit of jobs that are advertised online and millions of people just swarm them. It's kind of like, I don't know, I grew up with chickens and we keep talking about chickens and sheep in this calls because, I want to retire, be a farmer. If you grew up with chickens, you get a handful of seeds and you throw it for your chickens and all the chickens attack the seeds, right? Well, you got birds. Now birds don't do that a lot, but if you got animals and you just throw food, you got dogs. I got one dog, but let's say you have three dogs and you throw food, like they all go at the food, right? That's exactly how it is in the public job market, in the advertised job market. A job goes out, hundreds of people just apply, So that's the party we do not hang out in. We hang out in the private, stealth, confidential, unadvertised job market where most of the jobs are, most of the hiring decisions are being made, and the least number of people participate in. So very low number of competition because people just don't know how to do it. They don't have the training. They're not ready for it. They don't have the guidance. They don't have the coaching for one of many reasons. They don't have the connections, and they think if they don't have connections, that means the connections don't exist, so they give up. Today, you're going to learn how to make those connections, how to identify the right companies, the right people in those companies, and how to establish a connection with them, start a conversation, build a relationship, build a two-way dialogue, and get them to know you, to like you, to even trust you a little bit, because they need to know, like you, and trust you a little bit before they're willing to refer you. So to get them to know you and like you and trust you, you need, message one, message two, message three, even message four and message five. Like 3 to 5 messages need to be exchanged in order for that conversation to become two-way and the dialogue to warm up and they get to really know you, like you, see where you're coming from. You're not just trying to pull a fast one on them and get referrals, and that they're willing to, they need to get to a point that they're willing to refer you. Like again, it's not full trust, like I trust you with my wife, you know what I mean? It's like just come sleep in the next room. Like not that kind of trust. Don't exaggerate, but you know what? I trust you that you're not gonna like throw me under the bus, or you're not gonna like, if my boss calls you, if I refer you to one of our recruiters, they're not going to be completely disappointed. Like you're going to actually do your due diligence before you go to the interview. Like you're not going to come to the interview not knowing what our company does, right? I had a consultation today. The person asked me what I do. I was like, what? He's like, so what do you do? Are you still an engineer or are you doing part-time coaching? I was like, I was so caught off guard. I'm like, what do you mean? Just like, it's not like, what do you mean? Like, I guess you haven't looked at my LinkedIn profile. He's like, no. And he was so cool. Like, it was just like, no, 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 I just wanted to talk to you. I'm like, man, like, how can you get into calls and conversations without knowing who you're going to talk to? And like, that's literally something that happened to me today. So it's so fresh in my mind. But that happens in interviews so many times. A person goes to an interview and they don't know, they know the company's name and maybe like one to two of their products or very superficial service level information about the company. Within the first 5 minutes, within the first 50 minutes, you're being disqualified, eliminated from the hiring process by reasons that have nothing to do with your past experiences and qualifications, but has to do everything with your lack of attention to whom you're speaking to or where you're going today for the interview. So again, long spiel. Sorry, I think I'm going on a little bit of a tangent right now. I'm gonna get off my high horse and just be like, understand the hidden job market, please. I see this happen every day. People that don't know about it. So again, here's your public service announcement. People that know about it, they argue with it. They're now willing to accept the reality of how the hiring world operates. Cool. That's that. So I go really in depth in the presentation that I have inside the classroom, inside school. You learn so many more resources. Few resources that you have access to is right here on Google. This is a graph. If you guys haven't seen this, you need to understand how to, how employers hire, what direction employers go into. So you follow the same direction. You follow the standard operating procedures that employers follow in order to hire people. If you're one of these people that looks for work, looks for jobs in this direction, this is the root cause of your problem. Being an engineer, this is why I'm so passionate. I'm agitated by this stuff because if you don't know the root cause of a problem, you can go and apply solutions to the problem. It's just not going to solve it, right? If you're looking for work in this direction, starting from advertisements and job boards and then contacting recruiting agencies, you're focusing on, you're doing it completely backwards. You need to be down here. You need to be looking for referrals. You need to be doing networking. This is the core. This is the core 50, 60%. Cool. Anyways, I think I've beat it. I beat that drum enough. So I'm just going to close that. There's enough information there. Every one of you will have access to this entire worksheet. I will copy paste the link to this presentation, to this Google Doc, in the chat box when we're done. But you also have access to it inside the school community at the bottom of this landing page. You have the program worksheet, you have the infographic, you have a live post because I represented this 6 days ago. You can ask your questions there. And yeah, you can attend every workshop on Sundays to bring your new questions, your particular set of target companies, target hiring managers, your batch of messages so I can proofread, validate, and help you optimize them. Now, with that said, naturally, every last time I've gone through this presentation, I've actually walked everybody through the worksheet. I'm still gonna do that today because I do believe there's value in literally holding everyone's hand throughout the entire program worksheet. But what I'm gonna do on top of it, on top of like what I'm gonna do different this time is to give you like an overview, like a TLDR overview of what this three-step program, what these three moves are that allow you to win interviews faster. This helps you overall like get an overall understanding of like what is really happening, what is this program about, allows you to wrap your head around it before I take you right into the workflow and the prompting process. Cool. So this is the first time I'm doing it this way. I hope you're gonna enjoy this. I will sprint through this because some of the stuff, a lot of the stuff should be self-explanatory, and the details I want to cover inside the program worksheet. Cool. Um, a little plug for Notebook LM as well. Notebook LM is an amazing learning and teaching tool. I use it for teaching. I use it for learning too. But if you guys haven't used Notebook LM, it's a Google's product. It's free to use. You should. You definitely should. It's amazing. I mean, we're using it to build portfolios. We're using it to build presentations out of interviews. We're using it to visualize resumes. If I show you some of these resumes that I'm visualizing of projects, it'll blow the top of your mind. Uh, Man, what are we not using it for? We're building video presentations. We're doing infographics. Your entire career can be turned into an infographic like that. It allows us to communicate much more effectively and much differently with the recruiters and hiring managers. So, anyways, I covered that inside the school platform on the weekend workshop. So, you know, another reason for you to want to take advantage of that offer. But Notebook LM, you see that little um, what do you call a logo here? This presentation was built by Notebook alum in a matter of minutes. I didn't do it. So you can see what's possible. Anyway, so this what you're going to learn today, long story short, is a targeting and outreach system, not just for engineers, not just for technologists, anybody. You know, I'm an engineer. I've got 10 years of recruiting engineers, technologists, and you know, my personal brand, my positioning, my expertise, the way I brand myself, the way I talk about myself, is towards a specific audience, massive audience, but it's specific. So when you come to my profile and you see who I am and what I do, it's very clear what I do. I help engineers increase their income, reduce their stress with a predictable system that turns targeting and outreach into interviews and offers. You guys want to have a very clear brand as well, right? So if your resume, if your LinkedIn profile doesn't specifically say who you are and whom you serve, there's a massive opportunity for improvement there. Now, today we're not talking about positioning or branding. We're talking about targeting and outreach. Assuming that you have figured out your branding, your positioning is taken care of, and you just want to go into the job market, forget about the online advertisements, forget about, fighting over that piece of food, where everybody else is. You just want to go right to the decision makers, the right people in the right companies with the right message. Cool. So this is going to be your step-by-step workflow, step-by-step playbook, if you will. So you can go out there and execute it, right? Teaches you a repetitive system to get interviews. That's the goal today. You want to go from I've got my resume taken care of. I got my LinkedIn profile. I'm active. I'm engaged. I'm now ready to go out there and start knocking on doors, knocking on virtual doors, digital doors. Like, hey, Mr. Hiring Manager, these right people in the right company. These are the reasons why I like your company. This is what I can do for you. These are the problems I can solve. And then you ask them questions about what it is they care about. What does success really look like? Long story short, you're about to learn how messaging works. In order to qualify opportunity, discover it, showcase yourself, showcase that hey, you're not just a desperate job seeker. You're inquiring about what does it really mean to be a match, what their culture is about, and how to match yourself. It's chess, right? So bringing yourself, your skill set, and matching them, marrying it to their problems, to their environment. That's where the conversations are built. So That's the process you're going to learn. All right, so this is a process we're going to focus on. Uh, I guess we talked about this, what this system covers. And it does not cover resumes and LinkedIn or personal branding or interview prep. Interview prep is here, comes after you land interviews, and personal branding, resume, and LinkedIn profile writing comes before. So I'm covering the core. Step number two, the core of active job searching. In this case, proactive job searching, avoiding the 80% of jobs avoiding the 20% of jobs that are advertised online, focusing on the 80% that is less competitive and hidden. So we have to identify those decision makers. We have to figure out who the hiring managers are and privately contact them through LinkedIn. Or there's other tools as well to find out their work email address, but we always, always, always start by knocking on their LinkedIn profile, ask permission, let them agree to connect with us, which means we have to have a very powerful, effective invitation message. And then when they accept our invitation, we introduce ourselves, not bragging, not telling them things about us. We have to tell them about them. So rather than this is who I am, we tell them this is why I like you. So you're about to learn that, but that's the process. That's how you're going to get replies. So instead of you messaging me and tell me who you are, you got to message me and tell me why you like me. That's the message I'm going to write. I'm oh, cool. These are all the good things about me that he likes. Accept, right? So again, you're about to learn that. Moving on. So we talked about this as well. The resume black hole, the other side of the hidden job market, the advertised job market. Every job that's advertised that's posted gets at least 250 applicants, 250 resumes. 4 to 6 get an interview, one person gets the job offer. So you have a success rate of 2 to 5% if you're lucky. Nowadays, in the job market that we have today, it's less than 0.5%. So again, these are, we don't participate. I do not participate in that job market. I don't want you to do neither. So, what you want to do today, what you want to learn today is target the right companies, reach the right decision makers, communicate effectively. That's what you're about to do today. So, I'll just go through these slides very quickly because we have the worksheet to go through. I want to hold your hand throughout the entire process. But that process starts with gathering information. So the workflow, the prompting workflow you're going to read is going to input, you're providing it information from your resume, from your LinkedIn profile. Which again, just to reiterate this, if your resume isn't accurate, isn't branded, isn't positioning you properly, if your LinkedIn profile doesn't have accurate information or all the information isn't providing a clear narrative, then whatever AI tool you're going to use will not be as effective, right? So take this with a grain of salt. If you want, bring your resume to the weekend workshops I do. I can give you feedback on it. You can book a call with me. We can do a consulting call, a career fast track call, so we can sit down and I can give you personalized feedback. But assuming the first step, personal branding, resume writing, LinkedIn profile content development has been done, you're going to provide context and content to an AI tool of choice and go through this job search just masterclass worksheet. This worksheet, go through the 3 steps, through the 3 processes, 3 moves. No more than 20 minutes. It takes no more than 20 minutes. Honestly, you're going to get faster at that. Every time you run it, you're going to get faster at that to get the right companies, right target, right hiring manager job titles, so you can go and find them in LinkedIn and then start sending them your messages. Cool. Now that's going to take you to step number two. Step number two is to take the information you have from step number one. Step number one is a list of companies. You're going to feed that information to step number two. So this is a workflow. It does not, these prompts, these are 3 master prompts. Every prompt is like freaking 2 pages long, right? It does advanced deep research to find your target companies. And you need to feed that information to the second prompt as input to the second prompt to find the specific job titles of the hiring managers that are fully relevant to you. So the outcome or the output of step number two will be the list of the decision makers, the person you see yourself reporting to you, your future boss, not HR, not people in recruiting. Their filter, their function is to eliminate you. Their function is to take you out of the process, is to ping you out. Trust me, I was a recruiter for 10 years. Your real target is the person that you're going to be reporting to you. you're going to be reporting to your future boss, right? And not HR, but functional leaders. That's what step number two or move number two is going to figure out for you. You're going to verify your contacts. And from there on, again, you feed all that information to move three, step three, prompt three of the workflow that generates a three message sequence for you. That includes an invitation message, an introduction message, and your first follow-up message. There is a follow-up number four, there is a follow-up number five, which I do not include on here because message number four, which is the second follow-up, is an audio message. Message number five, which is the third follow-up, is a video message. So we can't afford going into teaching audio messages and video messaging in this presentation. That's what I cover in the school community in the weekend workshops. Cool. So again, another opportunity for you to take what you get from here, bring it to school, attend the workshops, and if and when necessary, because not every time you need a fourth and fifth message, but the higher up the target, if you want to go after the fangs of the world, Fortune 100 companies of the world, busy, famous, highly attractive companies, then guess what? They're just getting a lot of outgoing, they're getting a lot of incoming attention. So you need to connect, you need to introduce, you need to follow up and follow up and follow up, and maybe follow up a couple of more times to really engage them in you and prove to them that you're interested, prove to them that you have they're valuable to you and that you have value to offer in exchange. So it's never going to be, it's rarely going to be a three message process for you to get to an interview, but the three is absolutely necessary. After the third, sometimes after the second, you get lucky. The person is looking for someone just like you to get back to you, land an interview. But it's often after the third, after the fourth, or after the fifth message, especially since you get into audio messages, leaving voice messages on LinkedIn. This is not calling. This is using the LinkedIn app on your phone to leave a voice message, which is extremely effective. It's a feature that was launched, I don't know, like 8 years ago, and most people I still talk to today, they don't know there's a voice message feature on LinkedIn. So I teach that on the weekends, extremely effective for someone to actually hear you. And from there on, if and when necessary, we use a free tool called Loom. Loom is a screen recorder and screen capture tool. There's different ones as well. Loom is just really easy to use. They just got purchased by a massive IT company, so it's very effective, it's very easy to use. We use Loom to provide a quick video of who we are, what we do, a quick pitch. Uh, I pretty much help everyone create like a video presentation, like a 2 minute pitch. Uh, this used to be called a video resume. So not exactly a video resume because we're using our LinkedIn profile as our primary core branding and storytelling tool. So maybe like a video LinkedIn, a LinkedIn video. Extremely effective because now they can see you, they can hear you, they see your message. They see you have clarity in your presentation, you have confidence in your body language and in your voice. And that's what's separating you from the others, you know? Moving on, I won't get into the weeds right now. So again, you're going to see what to do, what not to do. All these tools and instructions are embedded into the prompting workflow. I want you to understand that this sequence, the message one, two, and three sequence are all linked together. So we come up with the first three messages at once because there's a strategy behind it. We have an agenda. We already know how we're going to introduce, how we're going to connect. What should we do in order to connect successfully? And what should we not do? Because the average person, when they connect, they just say, "Hey, this is who I am. I have a PhD in here, and I'm looking for jobs in your company. You're cool." Okay, not that. That doesn't work. Those that connect, they introduce themselves in message number two. They basically say, "Well, these are my qualifications. I worked at this company. I got laid off. Are you hiring?" Yeah, that doesn't work. So again, there's you got to understand what not to do as well as what to do. I cover a lot more of what you should do, and in weekend workshops, and when I look at your existing template and your existing sample messages, is where I can grab, one of these red pens and kind of like start scratching everything. So it becomes very personalized because I'm sure every one of you has a list of templates and sample messages, and I can give you personalized feedback on every little thing. Again, not today on the weekend workshops, right? We can get a ton of work done, help you understand why a specific type of message doesn't work. You know, for now, I can tell you high level, if the message that you're writing is about you, that message doesn't work. Don't write me a message and tell me about you. Write me a message and tell me about me. It's a complete 180-degree perspective shift. Tell me why you like me. That's what that's the philosophy of effective messaging that again I teach here, and then we can practice again in the workshops. So, anyways, long story short, again, I go through this operating system, what you got to do in the worksheet. Pretty straightforward. Yeah, what success looks like. This is, you want to have a consistent flow of new companies to target. You want to have conversations with decision makers, not recruiters, not members of the hiring team. A lot of times I talk to someone and ask them how you're networking. If they're an engineer, they're contacting other engineers. If they're a project manager, they're contacting other project managers. If you're a manager, you're contacting other managers. You can't do that. Like you can't connect people at the same level and expect them to influence or refer. Like it just doesn't work. You have to aim up. If you're a manager, you got to talk to at least someone who's a director. If you're a director, you got to at least talk to someone who's a senior director or a VP or a chief executive. It's always a layer up, right? And obviously, by doing this, by taking the bull by the horn, by holding on to the steering wheel of your career, you feel in control, right? You're steering this is the biggest impact you're going to experience. You're choosing what companies you're going to interview in because there's no shortage of companies. You just think there's a shortage of jobs. The perception, because you see all these jobs, and you say, okay, there's a lot of jobs, and I don't fit most of them, or they're not great. Not realizing, up until today, you probably hadn't realized that, yeah, that's only 20% of the jobs. There's another 80%. So if you see 20 jobs here, there's another 80 jobs here that you just don't see, you don't have access to. So you're thinking the market's crap because there's only 20 jobs in it. But that's not the case. When you start looking at the 80, you still have access to the 20, but you're just like, you know what? I'm not gonna fight over those scrap pieces of food. I'm gonna go after these unwrapped AAA USDA certified pieces of steak that only a few people are calmly lining up to sample. You're in control of what you're going to eat. You're in control of who you're going to interview with, not randomly replying to whatever the job advertisement was. You pick the industry, you pick the company, you pick the person, you pick the message. It's all in your control. This gives you so much power. Makes your entire career progression plan, career progression ladder, if you will, predictable. Cool. Anyway, so this is it. I just had 18 quick slides. Thank you everyone for your patience. I see there's like 18 questions or messages in the chat. I'm not looking at them right now. I don't want to get distracted. I want to go through this presentation, give you access to overall like this is what the overall picture looks like. So the last 45 minutes, again, thank you for staying with me. The last 45 minutes is just to give you context. Context is what's often missing. Content is here. You're going to be copy pasting this stuff, you know. This has been tried, and I've been teaching this for a year and a half. This is the fifth, sixth time through Albert's list. Many people have landed interviews. Multiple have landed offer letters without me even coaching them. There's a few I've actually coached on interviews as well. But this is, I don't need to prove to you that this system works because it has been working you know but the context, since you're here live, it's the context that I want to really focus on. And now we're ready to go into content, walk you through it, hold your hand through the worksheet, and then we have the community. So I have 16 of you guys have already submitted the request to join. I'll accept every single one of you. All of you welcome ahead of time. We have like 41 people here. Don't forget, what are you waiting for? You know, get in here, get access to this link forever with the additional resources. You're gonna have a session like this that goes up to 2 hours every Sunday at 2 p.m. Pacific, because you have to reiterate and adjust and optimize and fix and use better models. Like I don't know which models you guys using here. I ask everyone to use like the latest models. These are all paid models that I run these systems through. I pay for all my, AI solutions, so I'm always using the most advanced, more up-to-date models. So if you don't have access to that, we can run it through my. I don't mind it at all, but we need to get there into the workshop. So I know who you are. I can gather context. I see who you are. I see your resume. If I see a gap on your resume, if I see there's lack of context, there's lack of clarity on your resume or LinkedIn, I can help you quickly overcome that. Then we feed the right information to these models throughout these workflows, and we get accurate responses for you. And rarely the first response, rarely the first output is kind of like, I love it. Like it's never going to be that in the first interaction. This is where we need to, and again, I don't know how much you guys have used AI, but I've been using AI for nearly 3 years. Got multiple certifications in it. I've built so many things with it, right? From basic prompts to medium to advanced workflows to building apps and whatever, like using Cloud Code right now, building agentic workflows. So, and again, I'm blessed to have a development and engineer background as well on the software and IT side of things. So these are the capabilities that I can actually pass on to every one of you guys in the weekend workshops, So anyways, I'm laughing because I feel like I'm over explaining that. But there's so much value. I love these work. That's why I work these Sundays. I love them because I see the positive feedback that's coming to me, and I don't know, it gives me meaning, right? I love helping, obviously. I love what I do. Nobody loves what they do more than I do. I brag about that all day. Anyway, so this is let me get a little bit of water. This is the worksheet. This is version 3 of it. I've been trying to improve it. I still haven't because it works for everybody. The prompts are amazing. They're massive. They flow and they link together. My next big project is to make a fully agentic process. So you kind of like you get it, you run it, and it does the whole thing for you. I'm not there yet. If and when, not if, when I get there, you guys will get a free copy of that. You will always have access to this worksheet. You will always have access to my school community. Anything I build, you guys get, especially since you're gonna get into the premium. Again, grandfather everyone into the premium package. So you're gonna have lifetime access to. Oops, I closed it. Okay, I messed that up. Oh, okay, I messed that up. I gotta set it up again. That's all right. Since you're gonna have access to the premium package, you're gonna get access to all the tools, all the apps, all the agents, because that's my 2026 process. But for now, you have to manually run this workflow. Right. So I'll walk you through the system. And if you have any of the advanced models, that would be fantastic. If you don't, just run it through the free model, get your results, come to the workshop, and I'll just run it through mine. It doesn't take that long. I mean, it's going to take you 20 minutes. It'll take me 5 minutes. I've done this hundreds and hundreds of times. So we have enough time to run this through the weekend workshops. But the first time, I'm not going to run it the first time through my models. Like, we're going to run it through yours first, look at the results, provide that feedback. You have to train your AI. I'm going to help you with custom instructions. One of the things that everybody gets as part of weekend workshops, anytime I'm looking at your ChatGPT or Gemini account, first and foremost, we're going to go through your custom instructions. We're going to go through your personalization settings. Chances are none of you guys have set up your custom instructions or personalization settings. So we're going to start there. We're going to run your workflow, 3 prompts, look at the results, provide feedback, train your AI because I want you to have that. Like I can run it through my models and that's fine, but you're not going to get much from it. You're going to get just kind of like a results from it, but your model, your ChatGPT account is not going to get trained by you. My ChatGPT account has like nearly 3 years of training. That's why it's so good. Okay, let's get to it. Let's get to it. Testimonials. I got so many testimonials. I always talk about Spencer. He got 2 interviews in a week and a job offer. So this is kind of like something I brag about. I just had another one. Cobra. I don't know if Cobra's here. She's already gone through this, but she got hired, in 5 weeks. So that was another success story. First job in the U.S. That was really great. Let's see. Let's go through the workflow. First and foremost, step number 1, target your ideal employer. So what we need to provide what we need to provide your ChatGPT, Gemini, or AI icon of choice is it is explaining what the AI model is supposed to do. So we need to provide it a role, like what you're supposed to do. This is who you are. You are my career research assistant for this purpose because we're just finding companies. So we define the skill sets and the requirements of what that career research assistant should do. It's kind of like its job description. That's step number one. First phase of move number one. Then we need to define it what our role is. So when I say my role, if this is you, I'm going to upload my resume. I'm going to paste my LinkedIn profile content. And if you guys don't know how to do that, you just go to your LinkedIn profile, you go to resources, you go to save to PDF. It's going to save everything into a PDF document, and then you upload it, right? Naturally, you would have a lot more information on your LinkedIn profile than you would have on your resume. You can upload, you can and should, if you have access to projects list, portfolio, whatever information about you, provide that context. Your job is to teach it everything about you. There's no limitations here. Cool. So this is ChatGPT's role. This is my role. This is ChatGPT's task. So the task is to ask me one question at a time to understand what our strengths are, most valuable, most marketable skills are, roles we're targeting, we're open to, industries, technologies, impact. This is all the responsibilities that we're assigning to ChatGPT. Now, keep in mind, you uploading your resume and LinkedIn, there's a lot of context there, but ChatGPT is not just going to assume that because you worked at this company, because you worked at Tesla in the automotive field, you want to find automotive companies like this. It doesn't make that assumption. If it does, it shouldn't. Like it doesn't. The problem is that you do, you know? You're probably thinking, yeah, so of course I'm gonna go in the same industry and why it doesn't it just isn't just look at my resume and see which technologies I've used. No, it doesn't. It's not supposed to because you can try to be if you want to be a baker or a carpenter or a farmer, you can. You can leave automotive Tesla as a software engineer and become a farmer tomorrow. Like that is a legit path to follow. So it's not supposed to make assumptions. Nobody makes assumptions. So just that's a common feedback I get, right? So why doesn't it know? Why isn't it telling me what I should do? AI is not there unless you ask it, what should I do? But please don't. Don't let somebody else make that decision for you, whether that's me. I don't do that as a career coach. I interview you, I guide you to figure out what do you really want to do. I validate it, I verify it. Yeah, if you're walking in the wrong direction, I'm going to tell you, hey, dude, like that is wrong. Like, why are you going? I'm not going to tell you not to go there, but why are you going there? Maybe you want to go in the wrong direction. Who am I to stop you? But I will raise the alarm, right? That's proper coaching. I'm not mandating, I'm not dictating. I'm guiding, I'm coaching, I'm your guide. I'm not your dad, you know what I mean? I'm not, even if I was your dad, I mean, nobody really listens to their dads. I stopped a long time ago. No one's no one's supposed to, no one should tell you what to do and what not to do. And this prompt is formed in that specific way. So it will ask you a lot of questions. I get feedback. It's like, oh, it's still asking me questions. I'm like, good. That means you haven't given it enough information. There's not enough context for it to make confident decisions. Please keep going. Please provide accurate answers. Don't give up. I know it's taking you like 10 minutes longer than I said, but you gotta do this only once. Do this only once with ChatGPT with your AI of choice. It has that context. It's the last time you need to provide it that context. So the first time you run this, it's gonna take longer. Like I said, 20 minutes. Second time, guess what? You don't need to provide the same context over and over again because it already has it in that conversation. So again, long story short, let me move on. That is a common feedback I get. So, I want to make sure I point it out. Go through, take the guidance, answer the questions. If it provides you information or asks you questions that you don't know how to answer, as I mentioned up here, yeah, if you're unsure, say, I don't know. I'm not sure. And it will help guide you. It won't make the decision for you. It will guide you to find the answer. But please avoid guessing. This is your role. We're telling ChatGPT that this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna avoid guessing. I'm not gonna exaggerate real insights, you know? So don't guess, don't fabricate stuff, right? Optional filters you may ask me about, and it will ask you about these things, and it goes above and beyond, especially if you're using some thinking models like ChatGPT 5.2 thinking, like Gemini 3 Pro or the thinking model. It will go above and beyond, which is what I love. The today's AIs, like the AIs that came out, like the latest model of ChatGPT 5.2, latest model of Gemini 3, these are amazing. Like I'm excited. I'm a career coach, but I'm really seeing like soon you're not gonna need a career coach no more, right? And I'm getting ready. Like I've been doing this for 15 years. I started getting ready 2 years ago to kind of like maybe 20 years after 20 years of coaching, maybe 3 more years of doing this. I can depart. I can have my, my little farm with my chickens and sheeps. You know? But this is exciting. Like the world's changing, the hiring processes are changing, job searching is changing. And yeah, as a coach, I'm first in the list of people that will lose really their jobs, right? But again, I've dealt with that. I've adopted AI, I've embraced AI. I'm an advocate of it, and that's why I'm passing off this information, you know? I'm just giving it away so you guys adopt it, learn it, optimize it, get to work, and just set up your next 3 years. Nobody really knows what's going to happen 3 years later. Nobody definitely knows nothing about what's going to happen in 5 years later. So if we can all survive and do what we do in the next 5 years, we have done a hell of a job. Anyways, let's get back on track. So, when ready, next section of this prompt is defining what the output should be. In a nutshell, it's going to be a list of 10 companies. If you want to ask for 10, ask for 10. If you want to ask for 20, ask for 20, but don't ask for a list longer than 20. You really don't need more than 20 companies to target. 10 is the sweet spot. It's going to give you a list of the company, the likely job title for you. Like this is a likely job title because job titles are different from one company to another. One company calls it engineer, somebody calls it solution engineer, some calls it, oh, you're a customer solution engineer, or here, you're a customer success, you're a support engineer, or you're whatever, you're engineer three, you're a staff engineer. Titles don't mean nothing until you look at one specific company. In this company, these are the titles. This is what they decided when they built the company. The function is what matters. The functions of all those different titles are all the same. It also gives you a qualification of why you fit. So the why you fit is great content for you, is great understanding for you because you can push back on it if necessary, if you're unsure, which rarely happens, but it actually gives you so much clarity. It's like, this is a new company. I hadn't thought of this. And this title, wow, like it makes it like it opens up kind of like it lights up these light bulbs. It's like, oh wow, this is crazy. This is cool. This is cool. I didn't even think of it that way. I didn't really think of this. I didn't think of that. So uh, I've seen this like again, I'm telling you guys, when I go through these processes, having done this job for 15 years, and I'm picking companies and job titles for my clients, there's like always one or two companies that I never thought of. It's like, oh, man, it still gets me. Like this thing is just still smarter than me. Like it's just these things are smarter than all of us, right? So it's like, oh, it's so like it puts a smile on my face. I'm like, damn, like this thing's good, right? I never saw that angle. I didn't think that if we just close this one gap in this person's skill set, if this person just learns this one tool, and if they're open to a pivot in this one industry, oh my God, that opens an entire category of opportunities for them. So I don't know. I always get a kick out of that. I love it. And you guys, I've got a lot of feedback. It's like, oh, I never thought of it that way. That's a different trajectory. I'm like, yeah, it's so cool, you know? Especially right now, a lot of jobs are becoming redundant. A lot of technical skills are being redundant. So we need to pivot slightly. And that can be that should really be part of the instructions you guys provided in one of the earliest stages. So if and when he picks a company or a likely job title, the reasons you provided it, what you see yourself as what you see yourself as being a good fit for is aligned with that job title on that company, right? It's quite mind-opening. All right. Anyways, this is the end of the prompt. So everything in green, you basically copy everything in green, you copy it, you paste it into your ChatGPT account, you press enter, you run it. Then it's going to say, oh, hi, please upload your resume and LinkedIn profile. You boom, boom, you see uploading his stuff. And it just says, oh, cool, wait for me to do the research for you. And then it's like, okay, like I'm just gonna ask you a few questions, and then it starts asking you questions. What kind of company do you want? What industries do you like? Where do you live? What is your visa situations? What do you care about? So it becomes a questions and answers, and this is part of the prompt that's mimicking what a career coach does. Because normally I would sit down and be like, okay, cool, nice to meet you. Like, let's figure it out. Where do you live? What industries have you worked in? What industry do you want to get to? Okay, like why do you like that industry? I will ask you 1,000 questions, and I mean not 1,000, but like I don't know, 20, 30, 40, 50 questions max to figure out exactly where you've come from, where are you at, and where do you want to go. If there's discrepancies, misalignments, I'll have conversations around that. So an hour later, I'm able to map this out and begin the manual. So again, for the first 13 years, the last 2 years has been different, but the first 13 years of me finding companies, target companies for my employer, for my clients, that was the process. Then go and start Googling companies like, oh, wow, go to company databases, go to LinkedIn, start researching, reading company websites. And be like, okay, yeah, that Tesla, cool. Like that matches everything. I'm gonna put it in the list. Then find the list of hiring managers for this person. So a lot of manual research. All the manual research is unnecessary right now. It's all done, right? So it's powerful. Again, hence you really don't need a career coach anymore for this stuff. I'm still coaching. I'm still doing additional support in the class, not in the classroom, but in the calendar, in the weekend workshops. So that's where you really need someone to know that knows companies, that can guide you, that can stop you from going off track. And that's what I love to do. I see myself doing that for another maybe 2, 3 years before I make a pivot to a different industry. Cool. All right, water. Let's move on to point number two because I'm trying to close this, within the next 12 minutes. So maybe we'll do another 6 minutes per move. Then we'll go to the chat. I see there's 27 questions on here. We started with 41 people. We have 39 people remaining. So thank you all you guys for your patience. Hopefully you're getting good value from here. Sorry if I'm speaking too fast. I'm trying to go through it this, for the first round very quickly because I know at least for these 21 people that have requested membership, we're going to see a lot more of each other in this community. You can post questions, you can engage, I also have some recruiter friends that I get these jobs from, you can engage around the jobs that I'm helping others recruit. I don't recruit myself anymore, but I'm trying to help my recruiter friends, and obviously in the calendar, join the workshop. We'll see a lot more of each other. We'll spend, hours more time polishing your process, but just want to really begin to introduce you to this Google Doc and this workflow. All right, so again, thank you guys for all your patience. Let's move on to move number two, which is reaching the right decision makers. Without getting sidetracked again, right decision makers are the people you're going to be reporting to. It's your future boss, it's your future manager. It's the person that's going to sign the bottom of your offer letter. That's as accurate as I make it be. Anybody else who's is either an influencer or an eliminator. An eliminator is a recruiter, is someone in HR. Their function is to eliminate you, is a filter. The recruiter's job is not to find your qualifications. Their job, when they look at your resume, they're not qualifying you. If they tell you, they're lying to you. I was trained at Randstad, world's second largest recruiting firm. I was a top recruiter in Canada, came to the US, built my own business, did amazing things, interviewed thousands of people, recruited for hundreds of people in not hundreds of people, hundreds of companies in 6, 7 different countries. Recruiters are there to shorten the list of applicants. That's it. Every time a job opportunity opens up, whether it's advertised or not advertised, there's more than one applicant. Unless it's an internal move, they already have someone picked, which like 10, 15% of the times they already know who they want to hire. I have the job, they want to promote me, but because, we live in an equal world and there's equal opportunity for everyone, they have to advertise it at least internally to say, yeah, we gave equal opportunity for everybody inside. Nobody else was qualified, so we're just gonna upgrade. We're just gonna like promote Nader. But all along they knew that, right? Bullshit. So aside from that 10-15%, everybody else who gets into the recruitment funnel, who puts in a referral, gets put in through a referral, gets put in through anything, online ad, whatever. The recruiter, the applicant tracking system is the first filtering round. So it just takes a look at the 100 resumes, slashes 80 of them down to 20 people. The recruiter looks at the 20 applicants, slashes them in half, cuts half of them. And all those 20 people, they're all qualified. Trust me. If the applicant tracking system couldn't disqualify them, they all can do the job. This is what I hate about recruiting. They all can do the job, but half of them have to be eliminated by the damn recruiter, right? That's what I did for 10 years, right? You have to find one of many reasons. Some are ethical, some are non-ethical, some are logical, some are purely emotional. Ageism is real, sexism is real. It's all real, right? It's down to that person to find a reason to cut that list in half because their job depends on it. So now you're from 100 down to 20, from 20 down to 10. The 10 people get a screening call. Out of the 10 people, 7 people are disqualified, seven, five, six, 7 people are disqualified just because of the screening call. Most reason that contributes to them getting disqualified on the screening call is their lack of awareness, lack of understanding of what the company does, what this job's about. Like most people are just unbelievably clueless as to who they're talking to, right? They just don't know anywhere near enough about the company, who the company is, where they're coming from, what they do, who they do it for, what problems they have, what industry they're in. They're just lost. I have empathy for them. That's why I work as a coach. But I'm telling you as it is because that's how it is. That's how a recruiter feels. So they get that list of 10 down to three on the phone. 3 people come to a Zoom call. One person loses after the second interview, the first video interview. 2 people make it to the third round, maybe a technical round. Those 2 people are freaking rock stars. Trust me, like they pass the technical round, they go to a panel interview, and the panel picks one, eliminates the other. That last person makes it to the hiring manager round. The last boss gives the final handshake, makes sure they're fully aligned with their culture wise and everything. They get the offer letter. We want to go and talk to that last boss. Like if this was a Street Fighter game, we're not going through levels, man. Like we want to go and fight the last boss. We want to go knock on that person's door. Everybody else is there to either eliminate you, distract you, slow you down on purpose or not, doesn't matter. We want to go to the last boss immediately. So that's what this decision maker locator prompt is all about. Same structure. This is what AI's role is. This is the job description for the AI. This is your job description. These are the instructions you must follow. I mean, you don't even need to understand these because you're going to copy paste. I mean, please do read it. Please do understand it. But this is how easy it is right now. Copy the whole thing, run it, and you just answer the questions that ChatGPT is asking you. Your task, this is ChatGPT's task, is laid out. Some of the optional filters, if it's relevant, it's gonna, prefer only managers and above, prioritize alumni. Obviously, there's priorities. If someone went to the same school with you, yeah, that person has a common denominator with you. If you worked at Cisco and somebody else worked at Cisco, yeah, that's great. You guys are gonna be. Let me close my door. I think my wife's coming home and my dog's barking. All right, back to the program. If you guys used to work at the same company, that's fantastic. So you guys know that hiring manager knows where you're coming from. So that's a reason that will increase the chances of that person, he or she, accepting your incoming request. You know. So, anyways, there's a lot of optional filters. If you're using a thinking model, it does and will go above and beyond, creating more alignments. Like these algorithms are so smart. We just need to tickle them a little bit, you know? We are tickling it, and it will react. It's like, oh, you will come across things. It's like, oh, I never even thought. I even come across things and I'm like, I never even thought of that. So you guys are going to have a fun time with this, scratching your head and being amazed with the results because all that matters is the results. Anyways, the output format, this one's pretty straightforward. It's just going to give you a list of decision maker titles. Number one, it's, oh, connect with the director of engineering. Number two is the head of engineering. Number three is the senior director of engineering. Number four is just going to give you a list of potential hiring manager titles. Cool. And these ones are pretty accurate. So again, it does the research. We assigned it a role of being a job search master, with job search projections, understand job search projections, economic pattern recognition, deep knowledge of how functional org structures work across all internal teams. We gave it the ability. So again, we have to prompt it. Like it has these abilities, but we need to kind of like tickle it, poke it. It's like, hey, remember, you have the ability to identify real decision makers, using LinkedIn filters and public org patterns and title logic. Like we need to tell it this stuff. This is a beauty and the power of prompting. And what makes it interactive is because to uh, we're asking it to interact. So ask me. I'm going to give you all this information. This is your job. Don't assume nothing. Ask me. I'll tell you. If I don't know, I'm going to tell you I know. And again, your job is to guide me. You're never going to make any assumptions. You're here to guide me. Then it becomes your coach. That's the most powerful part of this. Cool. All right, bit more water, and we're going to go through the third prompt. I think by now you guys have seen the flow, like you can see like what these prompts, how these prompts are structured. The third one is the longer one, is the one that actually writes the networking messages for you without the massive amount of context and the research and the thinking that it does. If we don't do the first two, the third one will still work. It'll ask you questions, it'll still work, but it's not going to be as accurate, right? So the third one is like now we're saying that, okay, guess what? Now you're going to be acting as an expert LinkedIn messaging coach. You have a proven copywriting experience that delivers more than 25% response rate. And 25% response rate is like the equivalent of like Olympic gold medalist type of messaging LinkedIn networking person. You know, uh, I consider myself to be really good at it because I've done it for 15, 16 years. Yeah, 15% is an amazing day. If I reach out to 100 people today and 10 respond, I'm happy with that because now I'm engaged with 10 people. You just got to get fast at sending the first 10 messages, sending those 100 messages so you can bank on the 10 that's coming back to you. 15% is amazing. If you're getting a 20% response rate on your outgoing messages, oh man, you should start a business, right? So 25% is not low. I always get that question. Like, can I just say 100%? Yeah, you can say 200%. It's just not realistic. It just throws the damn thing off, right? 25% response rate is amazing, right? Anyway, so again, the approach is casual, peer-to-peer, respecting busy inboxes. You have a gift for writing curiosity-driven hooks, soft asks, friction-free follow-ups. This is casual, value-first networking, no begging for a job, no salesy pitches. So again, we're kind of prompting it, we're tickling it, we're tapping on our shoulder and like, hey, this is how you're supposed to act. Know your job, right? This is my job. So my job, I'm going to give you the list of the titles that I had above. I'm going to give you the companies that I've got so far. And again, if you do this in the same context window, it already has it. So it's not going to ask you for that. It just already has it. If you were to do these three different prompts in three different context windows, yeah, it's just you have to copy and paste something over. Uh, Task is again, ask me questions. The nature of this prompting process is interactive. Uh, the goal is that you can sit there without a coach, without someone who does this for a living and do it by yourself. So you need to prompt the system accordingly, mapping out exactly what the output should look like, what the strategy and approach, what the formula for every message, the opening message, the introduction message, the first follow-up, everything's fully mapped out. Guidelines have been set, and yeah, that's it. I mean, at the end, there's always some coaching bonuses. So these coaching bonuses are all going to be relevant to you. This is probably like when I do it, this is probably my toughest part of my job because different people, people are all different from one another. So if I'm going to give you some expert advice to boost your outreach, it's going to be different from you to somebody else to somebody else to somebody else. So I've prompted it here as well. It actually does a really good job at it. Uh, if you provide clear context and deep level of insights, Uh, some of these expert level tips, it'll surprise you. Some may be generic. It's a mix of generic and highly personalized tweaks, if you will. This is what I spend a lot of time on the weekends in like live workshops. When I'm speaking with that one person, I look at their output. Immediately we can optimize it. If something we don't like, we close that feedback loop. We provide the feedback back to the same model they're using to regenerate the same message campaign, to regenerate all three messages. And then maybe we do that two times, three times if necessary to train that model. And then I'll sprinkle some of my own magic, and tell that person to approach it this way, wait this long, wait that long, depending on, who they are, where they work, where they live. There's few things, there's nuances, right? These nuances, again, we can cover more in the weekend workshops, but uh, it's already baked in the prompt as well. Cool. Uh, that's really it, right? So these are the three steps. I'm glad we went through this in just over an hour, like we did last time. Again, if you haven't joined the school community, please do. Let me see how many we have on here. It doesn't cost you a thing today. If you want to join tomorrow, it's going to cost you $97 per month, which is still worth it. The amount of value you get is above and beyond 97 bucks. But yeah, half of you guys have already submitted a request to join. Anybody else, you have till midnight. You have till tomorrow morning. I'm not gonna sit up. I'm not gonna sit up tonight and like close it at midnight. Till tomorrow, submit your request in. If you don't have a school account, just create a free school account. Doesn't cost you nothing. And submit your request. I can get you in there. Take advantage of the courses. Take advantage of the weekend workshops. If any of you wants private coaching, I have a all-inclusive coaching program. This is where you see a lot of the success stories, recommendations. Majority of the work that I work on is on the job search system. It's a $6,000 program that you get $1,000 off, brings it from 6,000 to 5,000 in a nutshell, because I know you're probably thinking right away, how much does it cost? This is all inclusive, unlimited, lifetime coaching. If you're interested, you just gotta be a member in school. If you're a member, you can get your membership for free. If you really want hand holding, sitting with me every week, one on one, me doing a lot of the stuff for you, there is an application form and we have to book a private call. So there's a qualification process to go through. But yeah, I mean, you're saving $1,000 if that's what you're looking for. Not everybody else. Maybe one or two people in this group might end up going to that call. But yeah, you get a sweet deal here as well. That's about it. I was gonna share with you the link to my calendar, but anybody who's interested, just DM me. And the job search system chemistry call is a prerequisite for you to get into the job search system program. You've already, obviously, given you have joined the school program. You'll go through here, you'll pick your date and time. The application form follows after this. So you fill in the application, you answer all these questions, and then you book a call for us to get to see each other. Cool. So with that said, I'm gonna share the link to the school community one more time. I'm going to share the link to my LinkedIn profile one more time. And I'm going to thank all of you one more time from the bottom of my heart for your patience, sticking here with me on this day. Hopefully you got value from it. I'm going to come off the screen share and yeah, let's answer questions. I'm ready to rock and roll.
Right. Hello.
Oh,
Oh,
and thanks for the reminder. Link to the doc. Yeah, so the link to the doc, I'm gonna copy the link and drop it in chat. So you have it in chat. You also have it inside the school community. It's always gonna sit there, and every time it updates, you're gonna get all that stuff.
cool. Any questions? Oh, I got a lot of really great comments here. Um, not as many. Not as many questions though, I guess.
Do you want me to read through some of them?
Yeah, let's go through if there's any particular questions here.
Okay, let's see. So I'll try to answer as many of them as possible. So Sean Murphy. Sean says, "What about link to the doc?" The link just dropped right there after that. Stevie. Stevie says they are looking to disqualify you because there are too many workers to too few jobs. The system is operating as designed. You cannot have full employment at all the stages of capitalism. So again, there's truth to all of that. This means by the law of supply and demand, employers would have to pay more to obtain the better worker. It's better for the ruling class and have the peasants fighting over the jobs. Yeah, don't disagree with you, man. This is the world we live in.
Yeah.
Uh,
Until you own the company, you are owned by somebody else.
yeah,
Tough truth that I guess really hits it, but
yeah,
what's gonna
I
say?
like Stevie.
Yeah,
See, I'm trying to like, I'm normally the person who's gonna like pick up the book and I'm just gonna start preaching because I already have, I
yeah,
forgot to recommend some books. Like, this is the best time to recommend Architect or B. If
yeah.
you guys haven't read Architect or B by Mike Cooley, like this is Stevie. This is has Stevie energy written all over it. You know, this is a like look political implications of new technology, right? So this is a rare book to find, my friend. Google it. You're not gonna find this. Architect or B. It's from like 40, 50 years ago. Political kind of book. But I pulled it because it's so relevant today with AI and these technologies and how it's being taken advantage of and how things are changing, how the rug's being pulled under from under a lot of us. And I raised my hand earlier today. I'm like, I realized 2 years ago that I'm not gonna last. So I started learning AI. After I depressed the 3 month depressive bout that I had and that didn't work. I hired a coach starting of 2024. Aaron Fletcher is still my coach. I just hired him again for 2026. He slapped me and snapped me out of it, and that's it. I'm like, you know what? I'm the man of the house. I need to start bitching. I need to start
Hmm.
improving, learning, adapting, and getting with the program. Anything else is an excuse to give up.
Wow.
So thanks to Aaron. All right, so let's see. Carrie. Carrie says, so far this has been good information. I requested membership on school. Can't wait to dig into all this info and start implementing it. I need help because I've been out of work for a year and a half and almost out of money. I've done all the traditional ways of job hunting, interviewing, no luck so far. Actually, did receive two interview offers, two job offers. Went through background check and have my start date delayed endlessly from fingerprints issues to yeah, sorry you had to go through all that, but yeah, excited to have you as part of school. I'll definitely accept your invitation to join, and yeah, looking forward to helping you make progress, Carrie. Let's see, Sean. Okay, yeah. So yeah, sign up is free until tomorrow morning. Please do sign up. Huge amount of this would have been about 10 minutes. I think he is just a human squeeze page trying to drive signups. Oh, absolutely, man. I'm a business owner. I'm an entrepreneur. That's why you're here. No shying away from that. You should be doing the same. I'm job searching the way you're job searching. I'm networking the way you should be networking. What else? What else? Let's see. I would not count on getting anything. Yeah, I mean, if you don't register for it, you can't really, you won't have access to me anymore, unless you come to the next presentation I do with Albert, which will be the same thing. What else? Can you send a link again? So I think we have the link down there. Is it possible to have a copy of the slide deck and recording? Uh, I have a recording of a presentation on school, but I'm sure Albert will have a recording as well.
Yeah, we'll have the recording on YouTube.
URL for that. So share that. We got a bunch of LinkedIn profiles. Connect with each other as well. So that's another thing I would say. If you guys haven't connected with each other, please do.
I think my membership is pending on your school page. So,
I haven't touched any of the pending memberships. Yeah, I'll definitely accept all. So there's actually a presentation today. Sean, I love that energy, Sean. I'm being sarcastic. What else? What else? Greg, I'm looking for new questions. So, how do you find a good recruiter? Uh, we don't, because I showed you statistics of how effective recruiters are. I also told you that as a recruiter, no longer a recruiter, but as an ex-recruiter, my function was to eliminate you. So, don't look for recruiters, but if recruiters found you, acknowledge them, address them. Don't fall in love with them. Just know how effective they can help you. They can be like 2% effective. Any reason those 80 to 90% of jobs are not published so people can apply? Yeah, moolah, money. It costs money to advertise anything, you know.
and
For
because
the
the whole
same
idea
reason
is
you're
to,
not advertising your resume, for the same reason the average person doesn't have a LinkedIn premium account, you're
and
not
be,
advertising for
and
their
because
job.
they're looking to just appear like they grow. I think I look at the company that I currently work for, and over the last couple of months, just on my marketing team alone, we've had something like 4 or 5 openings, and like 3 of those openings went to internal candidates. And in
That
fact,
doesn't cost anything, right?
I was told in no uncertain terms for one of the roles that we opened that this role was designed for one of our existing employees because he was so passionate about the topic, and that having that role open would merely just be a formality.
Yeah.
Like, it
So the
wasn't going
level
to
of trust
anybody
is
but the
higher.
person that we had in mind. Like, you could have applied for it, but there's no way that I think you would have gotten the job.
There's no way because that person's already been picked. So if the
Yeah,
person's internal, they don't
yeah,
need training. Like obviously the trust is there. They've already proven themselves. The
yeah,
onboarding is there is no onboarding. Like
yeah,
it's very
yeah,
little. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
we all know you, you know us, so there's a lot of benefits to it.
yeah.
As soon as you advertise it, you're gonna get mass. First of all, you need an infrastructure, like a software infrastructure system. You need tools, you
You
need
need recruiters to
technology.
look through stuff.
Your
Uh,
phone's gonna constantly dial. You need a receptionist. You need to pay tens of thousands of dollars in yearly salary to HR and recruitment staff.
yeah.
Those are all the answers to your question.
And then if you're a hiring manager who already has some work to do during the day, you got to take interviews with select candidates, and then hopefully one of those candidates pans out. Otherwise, you're doing it all over again in a few weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or you can just sit there, open up as a hiring manager or a recruiter, obviously, but as a hiring manager, just like what
yeah,
I'm encouraging you guys to do, what I showed you today. Sit there, look for the right person that you know is working in a company that
yeah,
you want to hire from, send them the right message, attract them to your company, to your brand, ask them the right questions, identify a need, or not a need, but a desire for them to leave their current job and come to you, and then pitch them an opportunity. That's called recruiting. That's called networking from the employer's point of view. And
yeah,
that costs you nada. Most jobs are filled that way through networking from an employer's point of view. Now,
yeah,
as soon as a company grows and they start having multiple jobs that they need filled, they hire a recruiter, an internal recruiter, to sit there and just devour through LinkedIn and just go through and just start messaging people. Like
yeah,
it costs the recruiter's salary and $30 a month for a LinkedIn account. That's it. But then they're not going to just start advertising all jobs on the internet. They're extremely expensive to advertise jobs.
yeah.
Let's see. I have another set of good questions here. So Gregory says, so why do employers hire? So again, I guess we call that cost efficiency advertising on major job sites can be expensive. Oh, perfect. Yeah. Reduced noise, public postings often result in hundreds of unqualified. Yeah. Believe it or not, people
Well,
apply. So many people apply to
you now have candidates from North Korea checking in for interviews and things like that,
everybody, man.
which is why, a lot of companies are now requiring that you come and work in the office and interview in the office because, yeah. So,
Yeah.
the stakes are constantly changing, and even, I mean, at this point, I think I'm getting a lot of fake reach outs too on LinkedIn, or even on my email, from people who don't have real roles but are just looking to farm my information. And
Yeah,
whereas a
I mean,
couple of
that's
years ago
always
I would
there.
have been happy to reply to these emails, now I just kind of hit archive. I'm like, if you really mean it, then you'll follow up a second time or a third time. But other than that, it's just my morning coffee, and then I'm just gonna move on to something else.
Oh, absolutely. You gotta be good at two things, filtering
Yeah,
people and conversations out quickly, and then much faster, much more frequently starting new conversations. You know, job searching is not a function of like the person who gets the job is not the most qualified person, is not the most technical person, is not the smartest person.
yeah,
Job searching and its success is a function of marketing and sales. You got to market yourself, you know, and like whenever like it makes me kind of like sad when I see someone like I'm gonna pick at you, Sean. Like Sean that says, you know what, he's kind of like he's bragging, he's marketing. He's like, yeah, thank you so much. I'm doing my job. You know what I mean? It's like, thank you for noticing what I'm doing right, what I'm doing well. You know, so it's sad for me because I see this as a common pattern, you know, that people won't stand up for themselves, that won't sell themselves, won't market themselves. Because that's what we're talking about today. Effective marketing. Outreach is an outgoing direct marketing campaign. You know, for you to line interviews. As soon as you get interviews, you gotta be your own biggest advocate. You gotta like pound your chest and tell them that you're the best candidate in the market. Guess what? Because if you're not, they'll hire someone else. They'll find someone else. This is an Olympic game, right? No one's gonna get upset here because they say, "Oh, he's bragging about himself." Thank you. Like that's the biggest compliment someone can give me, you know? And if you don't see it, you know, again, it just makes me sad, right? Because obviously I'm not going to be able the person who changes your perspective, and the worst thing you can do to a man is to try to change his beliefs, so I won't even attempt.
yeah,
But it's nice for anybody to get to a point that say, you know what? I'm not the only person out there for this job. But for me to get this job, I need to be the best person at promoting myself, marketing myself, putting myself out there, feeling vulnerable, roll with the punches. You know, most people will pull you down. It's kind of like the whole crabs in a bucket thing, you know? Especially people that you're competing with, they will pull you down, you know? But it's like, all right, I'll take that as a compliment when someone's pulling me down. It's because I was on top of the other crabs, making it out of a bucket. You know what I mean? So it's all a perspective shift. You know what I mean? So,
yeah,
do
sure,
you want to be an architect or a bee? Don't be a working bee is the end of the be an architect. Architect your own life.
yeah. All right, I think we're at the end of this. Sean was just mentioning your monitor in the back. I do love that monitor. It's interesting, although it could be distracting too.
Is
uh,
it? Okay, yeah, no, I've heard that too. I've heard that
yeah.
too.
So I
My
guess
wife
while we're
tells me that
giving
all the time.
feedback, right? Yeah. Yeah. So
She wants that monitor. She's like, I want that monitor. I'm like, I like it.
yeah. Yeah. All right.
Maybe
So
I will give it to her.
yeah. Yeah. Okay. So I think unless there's any more questions, not all right. We're here. This is it's January. Obviously it's the biggest hiring month of the year. And I think the final question is just what's your biggest takeaway? Because we'll probably have you, I don't know, February, March, depending. I've got a wedding to plan this year, so as much as, and I've gotten a directive from my fiance that we need a wedding plan, so my calendar will be significantly reduced this year, as much as my ego tells me no.
No, I understand. I understand.
um,
And you should, you know, you should pay
yeah.
more attention to
I'm gonna
yourself.
have you
For
back in
me,
March, I think, just so I can keep her off my back. But with that said, um, with
no,
that
that is
said,
exciting.
between now and March, what are some things that you would like some of these job seekers to take away so that they can go into their job search confident, ready to join your community. And by the time they come back in March, they either don't need you anymore or they're back, but they're upgraded.
Well, yeah, I mean, hopefully they don't need me no more, you know. And
Yeah.
my goal, my desire, what success looks like for me between now and March, for example, is to get as many of these individuals here into my workshop so I can actually help them get hired so they stop job searching. That's what success looks like for me because I measure two currencies, job interviews and job offers.
I mean, it's
That's
amazing, right? For both of us, my goal is to never have to see you again.
yeah, exactly. You
Yeah.
know, but
Or maybe
aside
you're
from
coming
that,
back
I
to
know
start a
that
side
the
hustle with me, but yeah.
sure, but one thing I can tell you, so it's the first time I'm telling you this. I think this will be the last time I'll teach this workshop because I already have it inside the school.
Oh,
Next
perfect.
time, I want to focus on the personal branding side of things, on the
Oh,
beginning
love it.
side.
Yeah.
So again, no matter how good you are at writing your own resume, when you write your own resume, you're gonna miss stuff. You're not gonna, and then the average person, we saw a sample today, but the average person is uncomfortable with self-promotion, you know? So resume is a marketing document. LinkedIn is definitely, it goes above and beyond in marketing and just we get into positioning before we get into targeting. So personal branding, positioning, narratives on resumes, cover letters, and LinkedIn profiles is the next chapter that I want to cover with everyone because then that links to what we covered today. And maybe towards the end of the year, next year, we can transition into the last phase, the end game of the job search process, which is the interviewing. And at the end of that, now we have all three pillars in place. And anybody at that point that gets into the school community, gets into the workshops, I mean, I can fully support them end to end in their job search. And, maybe you and I would get on our horses, kind of like walk into the sunset, and then that's it. We'll have fun.
All right. Sounds good. Well, Nada will have you back for personal branding in March. It'll be exciting. For those of you
Yeah.
who are still here, thank you so much for your congratulations to me. Um, Maybe I'll have wedding photos to share with you in October, November when we come back to one of these. But in the meantime, we are here to help you find a job in 2026. Please join us for additional webinars. Please join us with Nader again in March, and we'll have recordings and everything in between until then. And we'll be following up in the meantime. So thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful rest of your Wednesday evening, Thursday morning, wherever you may be in this world. And we will chat with you all soon. Goodbye, everybody, and best of luck.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Cheers.